I'm Veronique.
And I'm Sylvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast,
where multicultural moms connect.
Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Nancy Luong. She's a digital program manager and has a background of 15 years experience in digital marketing. She's a proud first-generation daughter to Vietnamese and Chinese immigrants, and she's a Long Beach local resident. She's now a successful Fortune 500 senior marketer, a financial content creator, keynote speaker, university educator, and best-selling published author of the book/journal, How We Got Here. So now, without further ado, let's speak to Nancy. Hello, everybody. This is Veronique, Sylvia, and Nancy. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Nancy.
Hello.
How are you? Everybody's okay?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Can I hear you
doing
fine?
good too. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So today we have a guest. It's Nancy Luong, and she's the sister of a friend of mine. And she's a very, very successful young woman. And she works in for a tech company. We're not going to say names. She works for a tech company. And we have some questions for her. So you are you a millennial? No, you're not a millennial. What are you? Gen Z? What are you?
I am a millennial.
Oh, you're a millennial.
Yeah.
He's
Okay,
still a
cool.
millennial.
Ask me any millennial question. I can answer for you.
Yes, please, because I am not. So I follow you on social media, and you post a lot, and I saw that you had a program for women. So you're coaching women, and you have a program for women empowerment. Sorry, I cannot say that word. It's very difficult for me in English.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yeah, so Vero, since you're friends with my sister, you know that I grew up around all women. I have, I'm the youngest of 3 sisters, 3 daughters. I grew up with my mom, who's an independent woman, and I, have just been surrounded by women my whole life, especially out of college, with my bosses and mentors. So, I have always felt so grateful for the women that have helped me in my life, in my career, in my personal life. And so from it, I have just learned to really embrace being a woman, but also empowering other and encouraging other women, because I think that when we all help each other, we all rise together. And that is something I'm very passionate about. So I've been doing it for years with helping a lot of women. And recently I launched my own personal side business of empowering women and having a small group coaching and one-on-one. And it's something I'm so excited to do. And, I think, both of you being in that spiritual realm too, I believe our life is really meant for purpose, and you're put on this earth for a reason, and we all have different gifts. And I know one of mine is really, I love bringing joy to others and helping others. And that's one of the many things I do to really fulfill that.
And is it more like for the career, or is it more personal for the personal lives? What's the program, is really about? Can somebody just come to you and say, I have issue with my personal life, I have issue with, getting up the step, in my career, something like that?
It's everything. It's everything from personal to career to not knowing. A lot of women right now almost every woman I'm talking to right now is feeling in that lost stage of like, what am I doing? What have I been doing? What do I want to do? And really tapping into themselves as far as really reprogramming thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve us as women. So, I'm getting a lot of women that are trying to figure it out, not knowing what they want to do. And I think that's the beauty of life is figuring that out. But yeah, I also work on women that want help with finances or, goals that they have, or figuring out what their goals are. And so it's been really rewarding.
Okay. Good.
Do you have is that any age range, or it can be from very young, in their 20s all the way to like 50s, 60s, or, I think especially during the transition of when you have like moms have their kids getting out of the house, you try to find purpose. So I was wondering if you have women that around that age too.
Yeah, so I help a lot of college students, which are, in their early 20s. I help a
Hmm.
lot of millennials, my age as well. And also, my women's group has a lot of women in their 40s and 50s. And, I'm seeing a similar trend amongst all generations right now, which is
Mm,
really tapping into like, who am I? What have I been doing? What do I want to
Yeah,
do? And I,
yeah.
I can say probably 9 out of 10 women have expressed that to me in my whole
yeah,
life right now. So there's
yeah,
definitely an awakening happening right now.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like even like with me changing careers and like in a way, like actually quitting my job, deciding to
Mhm.
become a stay at home mom, and now doing this with Veronique.
mm,
It's just like all
yeah,
these changes that you're just trying to understand. Like, where am I? What am I supposed to do? And then there's spiritual side of it, working with your spirituality. So yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
like women, we are. I mean, I think a lot of people are just seeking answers, finding
Yeah.
yes,
guidance.
all over the place.
And then figuring
Yeah.
out how, right? Like, a lot of us
Hmm.
want to do something like both of you. I'm sure you came up with this idea and then maybe thought, how do we do this? And look at you
Mm,
now, just both thriving. And it's like figuring out the why and the what and the how all together.
yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think that is the most challenging part of creating a coaching program for women? What do you think? Like, is it the different personalities,
Yes.
logistics?
You know what? I think creating anything, the hardest part is yourself getting in your way. And that is
Mm,
a huge part of
Mm,
why I love coaching. And I too am in my own coaching programs, meaning I have my own coaches. I'm in my own circles that
hmm.
I have that I'm learning because I know for me, I'm always wanting to learn and grow. And in order for me to be someone that, is sharing my experience and journey, I want to be someone that's always open and wanting to learn more. So the hardest part I think about coaching in general is really you got to get over yourself, get over your imposter syndrome, get over the things. And that's what I'm seeing with a
Yeah.
lot of women. We stand in our own way, and that's self doubt we have, or just not feeling good enough.
mm,
Other people's opinions get in our way, our fear. So I think creating anything, especially in coaching business, is difficult because of the voices in our head. And then ironically, that's why coaching is so important, even for myself to have my coaches, to really separate the ego and your soul and spirit to really go for what you want. But sometimes in our human state, we need a little help and a little encouragement to get out of that.
Yeah.
yeah. I love every word you use right there. The ego, the soul, the spirit. I love everything. And we read something about it a few weeks ago. That just reminded me of the book. Talking about book, good segue.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you wrote a book slash journal. It's available on Amazon, and you gave me one. So, how did you start that book? What is it about? What does it represent for you? I know it's very important. So yeah, tell us about the book.
Yeah, so I created a journal called How We Got Here, an insider 50 questions that people can ask their parents or loved ones about their upbringing and about their history. And I specifically wrote it to tailor towards immigrant families since my parents are immigrants from Vietnam. And a huge part of why I wrote that, well, a few reasons. One, I felt like I could not connect with my own family, and I still feel like, it's just generational patterns that are being
Mm,
passed down, right? Of like not being able to communicate in the way that maybe our generation is used to or wanting to with our own parents or loved ones or grandparents. And so I really wanted to cultivate and create a relationship between my parents and figure out how I can communicate with them better, but then also learn about their history because I realized so many things about myself factor from my parents. My own trauma and my own things come from them, and I wanted to make peace with it in a way, not to blame them because my parents have tried their best, and I think every parent tries their best
yeah.
in some way. And now being on the spiritual side, I'm like, families are really meant to they're meant for your life lessons. So that's what I know. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
so yeah, so a huge part of that is really learning about their traumas and having compassion and empathy for them and making peace with myself and breaking those patterns for myself. And then also during COVID, I knew so many people that had lost their parents. And one thing they said is, I wish I knew more about my parents, or I wish I talked to them more and made time
Mhm.
to, because, I was so busy. I never knew what to ask them. And now they're in this guessing game or feeling like they have regrets. So I wanted to create a tool and a way for families to really connect, but also for families that aren't not used to that, like my family we were not used to talking about deeper topics or conversations, and it was so awkward. So,
I know,
creating
yeah.
this helped change just a lot, and it takes time. Even with my sisters, they just recently learned how to hug. So in the last few
What?
years, yeah, I know my sister
I
does
hug Sim
but
all the time.
with
I
her
hug
friends,
Sim
but
all the
with our
time.
family, the first time my mom hugged my sister, which was like 3 years ago, she literally
What?
thought she was being attacked and like yelled out loud, like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck?" And my mom was like, "I was just trying to give you a hug." And sometimes
Oh.
we make a joke, like I always say, "Remember, sis, when like 3 years ago you were getting attacked by mom hugging you now?" And now she goes in every day to give my mom a hug. So it's like little things like that, change.
Do you think it's because of the French husband? Because we French people, we hug a lot. We say hi hugging, we kiss. We even kiss to
Yeah,
say hi. So
it's
maybe it's
so
the
funny.
influence.
Yeah. You know what? I think that we all play different roles in our lives. You know how we are with our friends are so different from our family or
Yes,
work.
Mhm.
uh-huh. Hmm.
You're so different. And like sometimes when I even see like my sister with her friends or at work, it's like you have different personas,
Yeah,
right? Like I'm like,
yeah.
Mhm.
wow, sis, you're so nice. You're not really like this in class, jokingly, but she is. But yeah, and so like you see these different things, but it's like these dynamics are so interesting because my sister might be used to hugging her friends, which she is, but with
Yeah.
us, it's different because my parents never really grew up like,
Mm.
being physical touch
Yeah.
and having these things. So that dynamic's a
Okay.
little odd. Yeah. So it's
I
really, yeah, it's
I
really
didn't
interesting.
know that. That's
Mhm.
something I just learned
Mhm.
from you
Really?
guys.
Well,
I
that's the
didn't know.
same in my family, exactly the same thing. There
You
was
What, you
have
never
don't you don't
like,
hug?
I mean, now with my new my children, yeah, but like the way we grew up,
Mhm.
it was very like like you
Oh,
stay there,
yeah.
we do
Mhm.
things, you like do nice things for each other, but there was none of like
Hmm.
hugging, kissing, none of that.
Yeah, no.
Did
My
you
mom
guys say
too.
No.
I love you?
Oh
Never.
no, no.
Never. I love you. I
I
said I love
love
you to my
you.
kids
Never.
every day, every minute. I'm like, I love you, I love you. My
No.
mom never told me she loves me. No,
No.
she showed me taking care of me and stuff, but yeah, they don't say it. And
Yeah.
And
actually,
now
mhm.
my dad, that he's older, and I think he's becoming more sensitive. And then I even
Yeah.
find it weird. Like he's sending me texts from Brazil, and he's like, "Oh, I love you." I'm like, "Huh?"
What?
Kind of.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
like,
maybe
no,
with
you're
age.
different now.
My
Yes.
mom too, with age, she because I think she saw me with Eden. I'm always, and she was at the beginning she didn't understand. She was
Yeah.
like, "Why are you all over each other all the time?" And once she tried to like to hug me, and I'm like, and I felt attacked, exactly like your sister Nancy. I was like, "Oh, what's going on? Why are you trying to hug me?" And I'm like, this is weird. So now it's okay, but it's true. I think it's generation, their generation,
Yeah.
they were not used
Mhm.
to do that.
Yeah, and through the book, I asked my parents like, "Why did you guys not hug or say I love you?" And they said, "Because no one ever hugged us, and no one ever."
Oh,
Yeah.
So these are right. These are like
yeah,
generation, and I'm like, "Oh, that's why,"
yeah.
And so them not saying that or them not doing that doesn't mean they don't love you. They sometimes they just don't know how to express how they feel.
Hmm.
So it's all
Hmm.
they know.
And in America, people say "I love you" all the time
I know.
in this
Yes,
country.
they do. Yeah. A lot. Love you. Love you.
Love you. I love it. It's nice.
I know.
I think you have a question, Sylvia?
Yeah, so I saw that
Mhm.
you were elected Miss Southern California 2023. Can you tell us more about it, please? That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year I saw that on Facebook that they were that Long Beach was having a pageant and that they needed some women to participate, and they were looking for women that wanted to help the community, and so I didn't tell anyone. I just entered it 1 hour before. Like people have been
Wow.
preparing for this for a while, and I entered 1 hour before. I didn't think I was gonna win, but I thought, I kind of want to try something new, and that's the thing about me. I love this part about myself, but I also like wish I not I wish, but I just love challenging myself. And sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, can you just chill? But no, my brain doesn't work like that. So I entered and I told one friend eventually, and she came, and she's one of my best friends. She's 65. And so she came to watch, and I ended up winning. And a huge part was, I think, because I was so intentional, I knew, okay, if I win this, I can give back to the community, but also I want to really represent and be an Asian American woman in this space, because I never got to see that growing up. And, I wanted to have more diversity in the space of beauty, and because I have struggled with, my own self-worth and, the beauty standards of life, I was like, what, I want to change this for myself. And so I ended up winning. And, in the last year, I've learned so much about myself. And a huge part is being comfortable in my own skin. And I think it was hard in the sense that a lot of my life, I have two sisters. They're like a size 0, which is like the perfect
No.
perfect body for an Asian person. I got a booty. I love to eat. I am an average sized woman. And, I was always hard on myself with that. And some people might look at me and think like, oh my God, you're so skinny. And then I look at my sisters and I'm like, have you seen my sisters? Like, size 0. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, I want to break this. I don't want to compare myself to women. Everyone is beautiful exactly the way they are, and not putting that pressure that society puts on us, and when I think about it on a spiritual level too, I'm thinking, we're humans in this human earth, and we're souls and spirits inside like a body, and like who decided that Earthland was gonna, give you value based on the way you look. So
Yeah.
I really, I do think beauty really comes from inside. And of course, I do live on Earth. I have to, I cannot show up, all the time looking a certain way. But I've learned to really just embrace my inner beauty and know that I'm beautiful on the outside the way I am as well.
That answered the question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about one of the posts you had on Facebook, saying that you didn't want to compare yourself with anybody else, with any other woman, and you're actually doing a lot of positive affirmation. So, what's your routine? Do you do that every morning? Did you start doing that recently? Or you always been doing that?
Yeah, so a few years ago when I started really, in my spiritual awakening, I read, if you say positive affirmations or write them out, then, you can really reverse your negative thoughts into positivity. And at first I was like, that's so stupid. I was like, what? And then I realized that's not stupid, because I was so negative of myself that it was so awkward for me to say something positive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was in this weird comfort zone of being so hard on myself that that's what I was used to. But then I realized I don't want to talk to myself like that. I don't talk to other women like that. I want to talk to myself exactly the way I talk to every single woman, which is, you are a bomb ass bitch. So, and you're freaking beautiful. So I started doing that to myself with the spirituality and self-growth of learning to do that. But then also I started recently reading, I read a book, which is one of my favorite books. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And this book really taps into how your subconscious mind collects all these thoughts, and they're stored there. And you don't even know they're stored there, but they are really basically controlling how your brain works without even knowing. So when you're able to tap into those thoughts, and they're like the little voices in your head in the back that you don't really pay attention to, but they're there. Those are your subconscious thoughts. And when you're able to tap into that and change into those thoughts, that's like where it's so powerful, because it starts aligning with your conscious thoughts. And it's like a, two-way street of positivity. So every night I listen to positive affirmations when I sleep for 2 hours. So I listen to Louise. Yeah, I just put it on and I fall asleep to it.
You fall asleep, yeah.
Yeah, I fall asleep to it. So it's in my subconscious mind. And I swear, I feel like that's one of many things that has changed my life, because it's saying all these positive affirmations in the back of your brain. And then like by the time I wake up, I think that. So yeah. So Louise Hay is a great spiritual teacher, and she's who I listen to on YouTube every night for a couple hours before I sleep, and then while I'm sleeping, so it goes in my subconscious brain.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I could do it. I think I will fall asleep right away, but
no, I do.
Well,
I do fall asleep right away. So I do fall asleep, but while she's talking, it goes inside your subconscious mind.
Stephanie Keith was saying that also, right? To go to bed with we had another guest, and she's a big manifesting. She has an app called Manifest Now. Manifesting Now. And she was talking about that to go to bed with the affirmation, just playing. Even when you sleep, you can just play them
Yeah.
on.
Yes, it's a
I
great. And
definitely think
you
it
just
works.
find, you probably. I remember I used to do that actually on YouTube. I would find this
Yeah.
meditating or like
Mhm.
affirmations while you were asleep, and the voice of the person was so relaxing, and you just like repeat the sentences, and then like 5 minutes later, I was out,
Yes,
and
that's
Mhm.
how
then
it is.
it's actually helps you fall asleep, so it's really good.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
love it, and now it's like comforting. So like exactly what you said. I fall
Mhm.
asleep to it 'cause it's so comforting, and then
Yeah.
it's just in the back of your mind, and then it's going in circles.
And do you also meditate? Do you practice meditation or any like other
Mm.
type of spiritual tools?
Yeah, so I try to meditate. So that is something
Mm,
I'm working on. I
I
want
know
to be
it's
honest with that.
hard.
I
Not
try my
easy.
best. But what I've been doing recently is journaling. It's called
Mm.
morning journaling, which is
Hmm.
you like
Mhm.
dump all the thoughts you have in the morning on in your journal, and it doesn't have to be about anything. It's just like it kind of like free flowing of just writing whatever comes in. And one of my coaches said, like, you can just write like, this is so dumb, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, it can be literally anything. I don't write that, but she's saying like it can just be whatever's on your mind. It can just be like, I don't even know what to write right now, but I'm writing. But I end up writing a lot of things I want in my life or gratitude. But the point is to be free flowing so that you
Mhm.
can like kind of dump every all the thoughts you have in the morning out. And it's like a
Mm.
really great way to start the morning and to kind of release the thoughts in your head, and to do it before you check your phone or anything.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
That's the
right
first
before
thing
you.
you do in
It's
the
called
morning,
morning
right?
pages. Yes, if you look it up. But you can use
Yeah.
any journal. It's just a concept. Yeah.
How many coaches do you have? You said one of my coach.
Yes, so I have one coach through my work. It's for my personal work. So that's
Mhm.
like through a website called BetterUp that my work covers. And then I have a spiritual coach. So
Mhm.
I have a spiritual coach, and that is more tapping into, more spirituality and guidance. So
That's
yeah.
good.
Mhm. So
Well,
it's
Very
all
nice, huh?
set
what
up,
I have.
girl. All set up.
Yes.
Yes, you're covered. Have everything.
Well, that was great. So before we go, I just remember I had some question about something that always made me laugh when I was looking at Facebook, your little financial hacks,
Yeah.
because I really love those little videos you were making on TikTok. I don't know if it was
Mhm.
TikTok or I saw them on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I think you were making them from TikTok. And can you give our audience maybe like three very useful, that comes to your mind, financial hacks,
Yes.
when they can save some money?
Yeah, so my first finance hack would be to really live within your means. A
Mm,
lot of people, a majority of Americans right now, don't have $1,000 in savings and are living paycheck to paycheck. And the reason
yeah.
why, huge reason why, is because people do live without outside of their means. And the reason why people do that is because of comparing. So people are trying to
Mm,
keep up. Like, think about the holidays right now. We're around so many people that are spending, and society makes us feel like we're supposed to spend all this money on people to show love. And in reality, you can show love and gifts by doing other things, quality time together, volunteering, writing out gratitude cards, things like that. So my first advice is to really live within your means. Try not to spend more than you make, and don't compare yourself to others, because everyone's just, a lot of people are just trying to keep up with each other.
yeah.
My
That's
second,
huge.
yeah,
Not
thank
comparing
you.
with the
Thank you.
other
Yeah.
people. Yeah, like, doesn't
Yes,
work.
Yeah.
that's true. Hmm.
Another one I would say is um, I this is something I've learned in the last few years, because a lot of my life I lived in a scarcity mindset, having immigrant parents. But I do live in the mindset of abundance. I think it's really good to circulate money and energy. So a huge part is giving back. My family and myself, I'm very about giving back, donating intentionally to causes that I care about, or showing people gratitude. With gifts, but in an intentional way. So I think it's really important, if you appreciate someone, like I said, it doesn't even have to be money, but I really believe in abundance mindset and knowing there's a lot of money out there and you can get it, and to not limit yourself.
Yeah,
Not to be attached to
definitely.
it, right? To
Yeah.
Yeah,
money. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. I say that to my mom all the time. I said, okay, it's good to have a good saving, but you're retired. Like, can you live your life now? Can you just spend some money? What are you going to do with all that money anyway? You're not going to take it with you. So, and me and
Yeah.
my brother, we don't want it, so we're good. So use that money and have fun with it. It's time to have fun with it.
Yeah, I
So
know.
circulate it,
Yes, and
and more will
it is
come.
hard as someone that lived most of my life in that scarcity mindset. It's like it gives us that comfort, right? Like, what if something happens, or
Yeah,
I could be poor the next day. And I realize that's just a mindset. A mindset is we're gonna be fine. There's so much out there, and like you said, Vero, to live your life, be present.
yeah.
It doesn't mean like YOLO, go spend all your money
Yeah.
everywhere, but it
Be
means
responsible
No,
is
but
crazy.
like because that also makes you anxious if you're always
yes,
worried about spending money because you're not going to have it. That really affects your mental health. So it's just knowing, okay,
yeah.
I'm good now, I'm doing the best I can, I'm living within my means, and there's more money I can have, and to really have that mindset of abundance.
Just that my mom, she loves a good bargain. I love a good bargain too. Don't, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes she will only look for bargains, and I'm like, just, I don't know, be a little crazy sometimes. Get something new, okay? You don't have to buy everything, that's been used before.
Yeah,
Try to
yeah,
get something new for you, something that you like, something very nice,
yeah,
because you can. I'm sure you can afford it. You have a lot of saving. Tap in that saving a little bit,
Yeah,
Don't mean
and
that.
I liked what you said about like donating and give it back to the
Yes,
community, like or to a church. This really makes a difference. You're not getting attached to the money, or it's
yes,
circulating, and you're helping other people. It's just, I think it's just such a good vibration that you're throwing out
mm,
there when you do that.
yeah.
Not just buying for yourself, but for others, helping
Yeah,
mm,
it
the way
gives
you
you
can.
power, you cannot have money have power over you. You're in charge. So,
Hmm.
give back, and, be to live in that way is really freeing.
yeah.
Yes, I
Do you
agree.
still
Yeah.
do those videos or not anymore? Because I don't see them anymore.
I know. I kind of put a pause on it because the reason why is because I really believe in abundance, and it's hard for me to articulate that in different types of videos, because my videos before, the intention was to save and to invest, and now I live in a different mindset spiritually that I don't know how to articulate that, if that makes
Oh, I
sense.
see. People would
You know what
just
I
get
mean?
it wrong and spend probably spend all
Yeah,
their money or
exactly.
something.
So I'm like, I don't know how to convert that yet. So yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
good
Yeah,
point.
definitely.
yeah, I
Yeah, you
know.
need to find a transition between
Yeah, I
those
gotta
two.
find a transition.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe it should just be all like intentional spending or something, or something in those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, I'm not going to be around, but I guess you're going to come around for Christmas and New Year's Eve to spend with your family, as you do, because she doesn't
Yeah.
live in, you live in Long Beach. So
Mhm.
it's not very far, but it's still, not close to your family, but you're always here, as I can see in the
Yes.
pictures.
I fly back once a month. I'm going back on Christmas Eve and Christmas
Oh.
Day. And the day
Mm.
after, I'm flying to Italy for a week, and then to Dublin for a week. Yes.
I'm dead.
Oh,
Abundance,
look
gotta go
at
live
you.
the life.
She is always, there's somebody over there. There is an Italian that lives over there with,
My
I don't
Italian
know,
girlfriend lives over there, and I love her. So
your girlfriend. She is there all the time, Sylvia, I'm telling you.
I
But
love it.
Italy is great, right? How can you not want to go
Oh,
there every year at least?
She's getting
It's just an amazing
Italian
place.
passport soon.
I hope so.
Well, you better learn something over there and make pasta for us or something, okay? Just
I
try to learn
will. I
something
will.
for
I will
us.
come back.
Because I cannot watch all those pictures of food anymore. This is
I know.
torture.
It's perfect. It's like perfection on a plate every time.
So you're
Oh,
going for
I
New Year's
love it.
Eve? Yeah,
Yes.
Sylvia, you
New
should see
Year's
that.
Eve.
Wow. That's okay. I'm gonna be like glued to the
Zooming in.
Facebook.
Yes,
Glued
the
to the
pictures.
Facebook and looking what's going on over there.
For sure. I cannot wait. So
Would you
that's
like
in
to
three
share? So
weeks.
that's nice.
I'll be there in 3 weeks. So excited.
Perfect.
Wow,
All
that's
right.
nice. Enjoy.
Well,
Gonna be a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Have a good time in Italy. When are you going this time? The same area, right? When you went last time, where your friend is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where my
Okay.
friend lives, and then I'm gonna go to Dublin for a week.
Oh,
Mm.
Dublin.
Mhm.
Who's
First time.
over there?
My other friend lives in Dublin.
Oh, okay. So you're going to.
Ah, nice.
World tour.
Yeah. You went there, Sylvia, right? Did you go to Dublin too?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's your husband is from there, right?
yeah. Husband is
Yeah.
from there, yeah. So yeah, it's so. I mean, the whole country is so nice, so much
Oh, I
fun.
haven't
Yeah.
been.
You're
So
gonna
I'm
love
really
it.
excited. Ah!
Well, we
Get
want to see
ready.
pictures from the island now. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the
Maybe for
pub.
What?
So from the pub
Oh, the.
or club or both.
Oh, yeah. Plenty over there.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nancy, for coming. Thank you very much. It was
Thank
a
you so
great
much,
time.
Nancy.
Thank you for
Great
having me
interview.
on.
Oh, you're welcome. And well, have a good time wherever you are, San Jose, Long Beach, Italy, and I guess Dublin now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and the Mic. Until next time, laugh hard, stay silly, and never forget to bring your sense of humor. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.